Hey everybody, welcome to UJ Sports Live. My name is Ronnie Nabulsi. I really appreciate you joining us. It means a lot to me. Uh, we don't do this very often strictly on uh, Facebook. We usually do YouTube and it carries over. So um, please let us know if the sound is good and all that stuff. It really helps. Let's talk about A.D. Mitchell and his departure from the University of Georgia. We broke the news yesterday that it was likely going to happen. So where does Georgia stand now? And I just want to tell you that Georgia's going to be fine. And it's not sour grapes or anything. A.D. Mitchell is a fantastic wide receiver. He has some of the most iconic catches in Georgia football history. Uh, it is a loss, but remember that Georgia did add a couple wide receiver transfers uh, coming into coming into Athens. So you got Ra Thomas and Dominic Lovett. Dominic Lovett, 5'10", speedy, really productive. Ra Thomas, very good. Georgia wanted him badly. They got him. So you got the two of them. You got Arian Smith, who's just rounding into shape. You know, the absolute speedster. You've got Ladd McConkey, who announced last night that he's coming back. He's Georgia's leading receiver. Uh, that is a big get because he could have gone pro. A lot of people are like, where would he have gone? Well, it's a big deal. He could have gone pro. He sees himself as a pro receiver. I know a lot of people will doubt him, but if you can be that productive for the number one team in the country, you can play in the NFL. It's definitely possible. Uh, Marcus Rosemy-Jack Saint, that's definitely a possibility. You know, he catches a lot of balls. Denali Morissette, a guy who was really coming on in the spring. We expect to see more of him. Uh, Dylan Bell, oh my God, Dylan Bell. That is a monster kid. He had offers as linebacker. You know, this is a guy who played as a true freshman. So getting Dylan Bell is big. And of course, you have the speedster Anthony Evans, who runs like a 10.29, 100-meter dash. Tyler Williams and Yazid Haynes, the three freshmen that are coming in. And C.J. Smith, the other speedster. So between Anthony Evans, Arian Smith, and C.J. Smith, you have basically a 4x100 team. You know, at least three components of it that would probably smoke just about anybody. Uh, Losing A.D. Mitchell, you lose experience. You don't have a ton of experience with Jackson Meeks or Cole Spear or the freshmen coming in. But the guys you brought to the transfer portal, they give you a lot of experience. You know, they've played SEC football. They've played in the SEC East, SEC West. This is not unusual for them. So they have a lot of plays under their belt, so they're going to be fine. Honestly, I think the bigger loss for Georgia right now, more so than A.D. Mitchell, would probably be Eddie Gordon, the Georgia assistant offensive line coach. He's the offensive quality control analyst, but he's helped with the offensive line. We also broke the news yesterday that he's going to go be the offensive line coach at UAB. That was to me, that's a bigger blow than losing A.D. Mitchell because he is so well loved by the players and the recruits. Recruiting is the lifeblood of Georgia football. Well, it's the lifeblood of college football, but especially Georgia football. And you can talk to people at Alabama and Ohio State and any other school that would say, well, if this player had just been healthy when we faced Georgia, we'd have beat them. You know, Tennessee, well, if we'd had whatever, you know. Every team that faces Georgia talks about the players that they've lost. Well, I turn to them and say, Georgia was without its number one wide receiver almost the entire year. You lost A.D. Mitchell in game two, the very first snap or first series, and you didn't have him until the very end of the season. You lost Nolan Smith for most of the season. They won last year without Adam Anderson, and without George Pickens for most of the season as well. So point being, there's a lot of Georgia can say the same thing, but what makes Georgia different, what makes them successful, what makes losing an A.D. Mitchell not just a devastating blow on a Wednesday afternoon is the fact that you have so many guys behind them. When Nolan Smith goes down, you have Robert Beal step in, you have Chaz Chambliss step in. When A.D. Mitchell's gone most of the season, you had a running back in Kenny McIntosh who had 500 yards receiving, 500 yards rushing. That hasn't been done in forever. Brock Bowers stepped up. Ladd McConkey stepped up. So when I talk about losing a strong recruiter, people go, oh, yeah, well, you can get another coach. Recruiters are special. Guys who can land it. You're probably one of your starting offensive tackles, Ernest Green, came to Georgia because of Eddie Gordon. That's a big get. So Kirby understands that, his hiring of Chidera Uzodiribe, the outside linebackers coach who just landed 2 5-stars and another guy in the top 100 as big outside edge guys, that's gigantic. And with the portal, you're going to see guys leave. You're going to see guys come in. If you lose players, you need to be able to get new ones. Well, how do you get the new ones? You have great recruiters. So hate to see Georgia losing Eddie Gordon. That's a big loss. I know he's not a position coach, so a lot of people will just kind of dismiss it, but it is a big deal. Losing Eddie Mitchell is a big deal. Again, championship games, he has come up big. You do not want to lose talent like that. But it's not as if Georgia did not anticipate this. So they have a couple new guys transferring in. They've recruited very hard, recruited very well, and Georgia's going to be fine. Now, I think I have a pinned comment there, or a pinned link. You can go check out on the front page of UJSports.com. We have a story from Anthony Dasher. It says, despite the loss of Mitchell, Georgia's receiving core is still deep, and it really is. So when you look at some of the numbers these guys have put up, Georgia was able to win a championship without A.D. Mitchell last year. And that's not taking anything away from him. That's just saying the guy just was not available. He was beat up for 80, 90% of the year. They can do that again with what they have coming back in the stable. People ask me, well, was he well liked? Is the team upset about it? The team understands. They didn't hold grudges against Jermaine Burton when he went to Alabama last year. They know what happens. Everyone understands that they're all trying to get to the league, so no one's going to be broken up about it. So some of the younger guys, like the Dylan Bells of the world, the Cole Spears, the Jackson Meeks, when you see a guy leave like that, you're like, oh, that really hurts our championship chance possibilities. But I can move up. So you move up a rung on the ladder. You get more balls thrown your way. You come out and you fight hard, and maybe this is good for Denylon Morissette. Maybe this is good for Marcus Rosemary Jack Saint. The balls will be there. Todd Monken, as long as he's here, is going to keep passing it. And and when you have Brian McClendon coaching those guys up, the number of drops is going to be minimal. So shout out to Brian McClendon, Todd Monken, and the entire offensive staff for rolling with the punches as they have. Anyway, that's it for now. Just want to give you kind of our instant reaction, our quick thoughts on what the situation was like. And be sure to follow UJ Sports for the rest of the breaking news. Take care.